Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Have you ever noticed that the moment she starts feeling something real for you, she changes? She replies slower, she becomes busy. The warmth cools just enough to make you question everything, and you're left staring at your phone wondering what you did wrong. Before we go deeper, subscribe and like this video. Not because I need it, but because you need to understand this. What I'm about to tell you will change the way you see women forever. I'm speaking to you not just as a psychologist, but as a woman who understands what happens internally when feelings become real. When a woman begins to genuinely care about you, something unexpected happens inside her nervous system. It doesn't feel safe. You think distance means disinterest. Often, it means intensity. When emotions are casual, they're easy. She laughs, she flirts, she stays relaxed. But when attachment forms, the stakes rise. Her heart is no longer playing, it's risking. Men are taught to pursue when someone pulls away. Women are wired to assess when feelings deepen. When her emotions get real, her brain shifts from excitement to evaluation. Is he consistent? Is he emotionally steady? Will he hurt me? Am I losing control? Understand this clearly. Control equals safety in the emotional world of many women. When she feels herself falling, she feels control slipping, and that vulnerability can be terrifying. You see distance. She feels exposure. You assume she's losing attraction. She's actually afraid of how much she cares. Attraction is light, attachment is heavy, and heaviness triggers self-protection. This is why your reaction matters more than you think. If you panic, chase harder, demand reassurance, you confirm her fear that emotions equal instability. But if you remain grounded, calm, and emotionally centered, you become safe. A woman pulling away when feelings get real is often testing one thing. Can you handle depth without collapsing? If you misunderstand this stage, you sabotage something that could have grown powerful. If you understand it, you become the man she feels secure enough to fall for. And security, not charm, is what keeps her. When her feelings start getting real, her past quietly enters the room. You may not see it, you may not hear it, but it's there. Every disappointment, every betrayal, every moment she trusted too quickly and paid for it. When emotions deepen, her brain doesn't just see you, it scans you against every man who hurt her before. This is not drama, this is psychology. The female brain is highly attuned to emotional memory. When attachment begins forming, the subconscious asks one urgent question. Is this safe? Or is this familiar? And sometimes those two feel the same. Here's what most men get wrong. They take her withdrawal personally. You think she's comparing you to someone better. In reality, she's comparing you to someone who once broke her. If she's suddenly quieter, more reflective, slightly distant, it's often because she's observing, watching patterns, listening to tone shifts, noticing consistency. She is not just feeling you anymore, she is studying you, because feelings make her vulnerable. And vulnerability, without certainty, feels dangerous. You might feel confused because everything was flowing, chemistry was high, energy was effortless. Then suddenly she seems cautious. That shift is the moment she realizes, I could actually get hurt here. Men often escalate pressure at this stage. More texts, more questions, more reassurance seeking. But pressure during vulnerability feels like instability to her nervous system. What she needs is not intensity, she needs steadiness. A woman who is emotionally investing is hyper-aware of risk. The stronger the feelings, the higher the perceived risk. And here's something you weren't supposed to know. When she pulls back slightly, she's watching how you respond more than ever before. Do you become reactive? Do you become insecure? Do you try to control the situation? Or do you remain calm, grounded, and respectful of space? Her attraction deepens when your emotional stability stays consistent despite uncertainty. Because if she senses that your sense of self collapses when she creates space, she subconsciously feels responsible for your emotions. And responsibility kills attraction. When her feelings get real, She doesn't want to manage you. She wants to feel safe with you. The men who understand this phase don't panic. They lean into patience. They let their behavior speak. And that quiet confidence? That's what allows her to come closer again. Not because she was chased, but because she felt secure enough to step forward on her own. Here's the truth most men never realize. When she pulls away, it's rarely about you doing something wrong. It's about her emotions becoming too big to manage. You see, feelings are like fire. When they're small, they warm her heart. When they're real, they can burn. And women, deep, self-aware, emotionally intelligent women, don't want to burn. You might notice her avoiding deep conversations, ghosting your texts, or cancelling plans. Your instinct screams, "Chase, fix it, reassure her." But here's the harsh truth. Every push you make when she's internally panicking about feelings can push her further away. Not because she doesn't care, but because she feels overwhelmed, and now she needs to regain her sense of control. This is not manipulation. This is biology and psychology intertwined. Her mind is literally scanning the environment for safety. She's asking herself, can I trust this man to handle me without losing his mind? Your reactions, your tone, your energy, every small signal matters more than you realize. Men often think they need to show dominance or act strong, but emotional strength isn't about controlling her or proving you're the prize. Emotional strength is about managing yourself. Calm energy, patience, and understanding is magnetic. When her feelings get real, she's watching to see if you can carry your own emotional weight without collapsing under hers. Here's another layer most men overlook. Intimacy scares her when it's real. Not just physical intimacy, but emotional intimacy. Revealing vulnerability to someone else means you could break her heart. The closer she feels, the higher the stakes become. Distance is her coping mechanism. It's her subconscious way of saying, I need to feel safe before I fully invest. Your job is not to eliminate that fear. That's impossible. Her fear exists whether you like it or not. Your job is to demonstrate that you can handle her fear without reacting poorly. You can be her anchor when she's stormy inside. You can show her that stepping closer won't ignite chaos. And here's the subtle, invisible truth. The men who fail are the ones who chase, demand, or try to solve the problem. The men who succeed are the ones who remain steady, whose presence reassures without suffocating, whose confidence invites her to return on her own. She's not pulling away because she stopped liking you. She's pulling away because her mind is asking, can I trust him with this? And if you understand that, you gain a power that no charm, no flirtation, no gift could ever give you. A power to make her feel safe enough to let her guard down completely. Now, let's talk about what she's really feeling inside when she pulls away, because it's never simple and it's never shallow. Behind that distance, there's a storm of conflicting emotions raging. She's excited by her feelings, drawn to you in ways she may not even fully understand, and simultaneously terrified of what those feelings mean. Every text unanswered, every postponed plan, every subtle shift in tone isn't rejection. It's internal wrestling. She's questioning herself as much as she's questioning you. Am I moving too fast? Will I get hurt? Can I trust him? These thoughts run on repeat in her mind, quietly sabotaging her behavior, even when her heart is screaming to come closer. What most men don't grasp is that fear and attraction are deeply intertwined. Attraction doesn't disappear when fear enters the equation. It intensifies it. Think of it like a double-edged sword. The more she's drawn to you, the more her mind scrutinizes whether she can safely give herself over to those feelings. That's why distance shows up right at the peak of emotional intensity. And here's the kicker. The men who lose this stage are almost always reacting unconsciously to their own fear. Your ego sees withdrawal as loss, as failure, as rejection, and suddenly you're chasing, pushing, demanding. Every desperate message, every attempt to fix the distance, every sign of frustration feeds her subconscious belief that emotions equal chaos. She doesn't want chaos. She wants certainty. She wants someone who can handle the storm without becoming the storm. The men who understand this realize that pulling back with calmness, patience, and self-assuredness is far more magnetic than pushing forward with intensity. It's a psychological paradox. To keep her, you must let her feel the space she's craving. Not as a punishment, not as manipulation, but as a reflection of your own emotional mastery. When you maintain your center while she navigates her inner conflict, she sees you as someone capable of holding emotional depth without collapsing. That is rare. That is irresistible. You must resist interpreting her withdrawal as disinterest. It's not. She's not playing games. She's protecting herself. And your role is not to rescue her from her feelings, but to become a safe harbor she can willingly come back to. When her feelings get real, men often try to solve the problem externally. The truth is, the solution is entirely internal. Your mindset, your energy, your presence. If you master that, she won't just return, she'll lean in, and she'll do it voluntarily. That is the invisible rule of attraction that most men never learn. Security breeds closeness, not chase. Let's break down what actually triggers her to pull away when feelings get real, because understanding this is the difference between losing her and making her emotionally dependent on your stability. It all starts with intensity. When a woman begins to feel deeply, the intensity of those emotions is like a tidal wave she can't immediately control. Her mind starts racing. What if this goes too fast? What if I get hurt? Am I ready for this? Her retreat isn't a rejection, it's a self-preservation mechanism. Think of it as her emotional firewall. She's not rejecting you, she's testing whether she can trust you with the most vulnerable version of herself. And if you misread that test, you don't just risk the relationship, you risk pushing her completely out of reach. Here's the part most men fail to notice. She's watching your behavior under pressure more than anything else. If she senses that your confidence wavers the moment she pulls away, if she notices desperation, insecurity, or emotional volatility, it confirms her fears that opening up is dangerous. She's essentially asking, can he handle me without losing control? Men often believe that attraction is about charm, humor, or physical appeal. But at this stage, emotional stability outweighs all of that. If you can remain calm, patient, and grounded while she navigates her inner storm, you're demonstrating something far more powerful than flirtation. You're showing her you're safe. And safety is what makes a woman feel ready to fully invest. Another subtle trigger is over-communication. Flooding her with messages, calls, or attempts to fix the distance signals to her subconscious mind that you're unstable. Ironically, the more you try to reassure her, the less safe she feels. Emotional depth demands space. Space allows her nervous system to regulate, to decide she wants closeness without feeling trapped. This is why men who succeed at this stage don't chase. They understand the silent language of emotional containment. They give her the room to process her feelings while showing consistency, reliability, and quiet confidence. That combination is irresistible because it signals, I'm strong enough to hold both my emotions and yours. If you master this, her temporary withdrawal transforms from a source of anxiety into a magnet. The moment she feels ready, she doesn't just come back, she leans in willingly, emotionally invested, and far more attracted than before. You're no longer just someone she likes, you become someone she can trust with her heart. Understand this deeply. Her pullback isn't rejection. It's the test that separates men who attract women for the short term from men who become the safe, stable, and emotionally commanding presence she can't resist. And passing that test requires mastery of one thing above all: yourself. Now let's get into the unspoken truth that almost no one tells men. When she pulls away, it's not always conscious. Sometimes she doesn't even realize why she's distancing herself. Her mind and body are reacting faster than her conscious thoughts can catch up. Her heart wants closeness, but her nervous system screams caution. And that inner conflict creates the confusing behavior you see. You might notice her being affectionate one moment and distant the next. She might initiate contact and then suddenly stop. She might laugh, flirt, or tease, then retreat. All of this is her emotional system testing the waters, her way of navigating a deepening connection without losing control over herself. Here's the key. The stronger her feelings, the more intense her internal push-pull becomes. Men often interpret this as hot and cold behavior, and then they react in ways that reinforce her fears. Desperation, overanalyzing, demanding answers. These are all signals that tell her, I am not safe with him. The men who succeed in this stage understand that attraction is no longer about being charming or fun. It's about being the calm center in her emotional storm. It's about holding space for her to feel all of her emotions without making her feel responsible for yours. That emotional sovereignty is magnetic. Let me be clear. This isn't about ignoring her or playing games. This is about mastering your own emotional state so that she can safely lower her guard. When she senses that you are steady, confident, and self-contained, it triggers a subconscious response. I can trust this man with my heart. You see, women don't just fall for actions. They fall for emotional safety. That's why men who panic, chase, or beg for reassurance almost always lose at this stage. And the irony is that the men who do the opposite, who create stability without controlling her, become irresistible without ever trying. Think of her pullback as a litmus test. Every text she doesn't answer, every pause in conversation, every moment she needs space is an opportunity to demonstrate mastery over your own mind and emotions. Your response, or lack thereof, is far more powerful than any effort to force closeness. And when you pass this invisible test, something remarkable happens. She doesn't just return, she leans in fully, emotionally invested, and confident that you won't crumble under her depth. That's when attraction transforms into deep connection, respect, and loyalty. Remember this. Her distance is a reflection of her fear, not her desire. And your mastery of yourself is the bridge that turns that fear into unwavering attraction. Here's a truth most men completely overlook. When her feelings get real, the dynamics of attraction shift in ways that are invisible but powerful. Early on, chemistry and excitement drive the connection. She laughs, flirts, teases, and everything feels effortless. But once her heart steps into deeper territory, the rules change. Emotional depth brings responsibility, and with responsibility comes caution. This is the stage where many men fail because they don't recognize what's happening beneath the surface. Her withdrawal isn't disinterest, it's her nervous system regulating intensity. Her mind is scanning, evaluating, and asking questions you can't see. Questions like, can I rely on him when things get complicated? Will he stay calm if I show vulnerability? Does he respect my space while still being present? Most men respond to this with frustration or confusion. They overanalyze, text too much, or try to accelerate intimacy to fix her distance. But what she truly needs is the opposite: steady presence, quiet confidence, and emotional containment. That's the invisible language that says, you can feel safe with me. The men who understand this stage don't chase, they attract. They don't argue, beg, or over-explain. They lead with calm energy and let her process her feelings at her own pace. Her mind can then relax. Her heart can then open. And that's where real connection begins. There's another subtle layer that most men never notice. She's subconsciously testing your consistency. Every pause, every delayed response, every subtle withdrawal is a chance for you to show that you are emotionally stable, that your attraction isn't conditional on her immediate validation. Stability becomes magnetism. And here's a crucial point. When she steps back, you cannot interpret it as a loss. Her retreat is temporary. It's her internal mechanism for managing a feeling that's too intense, too vulnerable, or too uncertain. If you react from fear, you confirm her worry that emotions equal chaos. If you remain grounded, you signal that closeness won't destroy you, or her. Men who master this understand the unspoken code. Emotional space doesn't diminish attraction, it amplifies it. Women come closer when they feel safe, not when they feel pressured. This is why some of the most emotionally intelligent men appear magnetic without trying. They simply provide a calm, secure presence when feelings intensify. The deeper her feelings grow, the more critical your mastery becomes. Emotional steadiness is not optional, it's essential. When you achieve this, she doesn't just return to you, she leans in with trust, admiration, and attraction that's far more profound than anything surface-level charm could ever create. She's not pulling away because she's losing interest. She's pulling away because she's feeling something real. And that's the moment you become unforgettable. Now, let's tie it all together, because this is the stage where most men either lose her completely or become the man she can't imagine life without. When a woman pulls away as her feelings deepen, it's not a punishment, a test, or a game. It's a reflection of the emotional intensity she's experiencing. She's caught between desire and fear, excitement and self-preservation. And how you respond in these moments will determine everything. Think of it like a seesaw. On one side is her emotional vulnerability. On the other is your emotional stability. If your energy wavers, if you panic, chase, or plead, her nervous system tips, and she instinctively pulls further away. But if you remain grounded, confident, and calm, the seesaw balances, and she can finally lean in safely. That's the invisible rule few men ever understand. Safety drives intimacy, not pressure. Understand this. Women do not fall for desperation. They fall for mastery. Men who can contain their emotions, respect her space, and maintain their own value without needing validation. It's not about manipulation, it's about self-command. When she senses you are anchored in your own life and unshaken by her temporary distance, her subconscious says, "This man is safe. I can fully feel for him." And here's the secret most men never hear. Attraction doesn't just survive her pullback, it intensifies. Her feelings grow while she tests you, because every moment you remain steady proves that you're different from the men who crumbled before. You're showing her that you're capable of holding depth, handling intensity, and embracing vulnerability without losing your center. You see, the women who pull away the most are often the ones most capable of deep love. Their hearts are careful, their emotional boundaries strong, and their instincts sharp. They are not leaving you, they are evaluating whether you can match the depth they feel. Most men fail because they misread this stage and try to force closeness instead of embodying stability. The men who succeed do something radical. They trust her process, trust themselves, and allow her space while remaining a consistent, grounded presence. They become a secure harbor. They become irresistible without needing to chase. And when she finally steps forward fully, she does so willingly, with desire, trust, and a commitment that goes beyond surface attraction. So remember this, her pullback is never about losing interest. It's a signal of emotional intensity. Your response is the gateway to closeness or the trigger for distance. Master your energy, respect her process, and embody confidence. When you do, you transform fear into trust, hesitation into devotion, and temporary distance into lasting attraction. This is the hidden rule of women's hearts. When feelings get real, stability wins, desperation loses, and patience becomes your ultimate power.